when it says whiteness is a practice, right? Whiteness is a practice. Possibly the most persistent habit of modern perception is to reduce whiteness to presentation, right? It's easier, really, right? It's just easy to do that. But it's easy, and that's why it's deeply problematic. And I speak as someone who has lived and been grown and been supported and nourished in worlds and in cosmologies outside of that which feels centralizing in the United States, the multiracial experiment that is replete with harm and pain and trauma that is this country, right? And I know the tendency is, I can see the stuff, right? I don't need to be an anthropologist to see that the tendency is to try to, as I see in politics these days, is to try to make white people apologize for being white. And I tell myself every time I see that, as easy as it is to get with the program of that, doing that is how whiteness operates. That's exactly what whiteness would have happen. Because whiteness is not white color. It's not phenotypic. It's the shape of experience. It's how the frame hangs on the wall. It's the noise that the floorboards make when you step on it, right? It's molecular. It's not even something that is chosen, like a switch that I can switch off. If I go to this workshop on being a good white person, I can just pull the switch, right? And I think politics doesn't know how to hold this, because politics is trained to focus on the individual, the categorical individual, the self. And so we're trained to see the self. We're not trained to see the practice. We're trained to see the remedy. We're not trained to see the process, right? We're not trained to see how bodies are much more unwieldy than modernity can account for. Right? So Black studies scholars like Saidiya Hartman and Fred Moulton and Sylvia Wynter and Hortense Spillers have been saying for a long time that whiteness is something deeper than just presentation. Whiteness is a practice. I come from the blackest blackly black nation on the planet. We are so black. And we didn't even know we were black until, we were told we were black, right? We're 250 million people, 500 languages, 250 tribes, all put in a nation-state experiment rudely called Nigeria, right? But we are very white. Not because we look white, but because our imaginaries are white. How we imagine the future is a progressive movement towards a utopian ideal, right? We learned about US presidents before we learned about our presidents. We speak about the United States as if, I'm not kidding when I said yesterday with my brother, I said the city set upon a hill, and some people chuckled. I really mean that. This is how it was, United States was presented to us. The first time I came to the United States was 2014, and I was shocked by the pothole that I saw in New York. Because I actually imagined that everything is perfect, is smooth. And I was adult enough to know that's not the case, but I was still shocked to actually see a pothole in New York. Right, that real, because this is the story we're told. But I digress. Whiteness is not presentation. It's the shape of experience. It's a technique of power. It supersedes, exceeds, and precedes the individual that comes into being. It's how individuals are individuated. It's how we understand power and privilege. It's how we understand what to go for, what's valuable. Whiteness tracks and thinks along with neurotypicality, right? Which is not a type of mind. It's how bodies are made proper, right? What did the plantation do well? The plantation wanted to make proper bodies. Understand that black bodies were seen to be improper, less than human, right? So we're going to make you good. We're going to make you proper. This is how even inclusion can be a form of violence. We're going to include you because we love you, you see. The first slave ship was called Jesus of Lubeck. So yes, they prayed on the ship, and it was for the salvation of the horrible mangled bodies beneath the deck. Right? That's exactly what whiteness does. Whiteness is not white people, because black people can get into the whiteness thing as well. It's a practice. Even opposing whiteness can be a form of whiteness. Right? Oh yeah, I want to sit at that table. We're not getting represented enough at that table. Well, your perception that that table is power is whiteness. I could say more, but it would be a keynote.
Please do say more.
I mean, I told this story yesterday, I think yesterday.
Yes.
Micah, I may have said this yesterday, but I told the story of going into a classroom. I've been teaching for a long time, so I was teaching in the UK in Devon, and I was at the Schumacher College. It's now defunct. And I spoke about my experiences going through airports. Now, I don't know how many of you have a horrible time at airports. If you get called for secondary screening, let me see your hands up. And it doesn't feel random anymore. Like you just know when you're on the line, like I'm going to be called. And you have this eye contact thing with the person who's about to call you. Like, should I look? Should I look? I often say it when they call me out. I said, I've been waiting for this moment. Like, I do that all the time. I've been waiting for this moment, and we have a handshake or something. But they screen me all the same. Because Nigerians are suspicious, or people that look like me are suspicious, right? And so I was speaking about this experience, and this German brother started to say, I'm sorry about this experience. I'm sorry that I'm white. I'm sorry that I go through airports and it's just a breeze and you have to be screened and all of that. And I remember telling him, I reject your apology. I told this, I don't accept your apology, which caused him anxiety and made him double down on his apology. like, oh, I'm sorry that I apologize in the wrong way. You see, modernity only tracks along certain lines. Oh, I must have not apologized well. So here's a better apology. I had to stop the rabbit hole process and say, it's not the apology, brother. Is if I accept your apology, if I actually say thank you for saying sorry, I would be complicit in making prominent the idea that your analysis of power is the only one available. Mm-hmm. So I don't want... Yes, it is true that I do not go through airports as quickly as you do. But it is also true that you probably do not know how to connect with an ancestor. Mm-hmm. You probably do not know what a bonfire means. You probably do not know what it means to call Awon Yawa or to lay a seed in the dead of night and see what you probably do not know what all these things means. So modernity is the pretension to an exclusivity of power. It's the performance of power as if it's just the one thing. And that's what whiteness preserves. Whiteness is not scandalized by diversity. Whiteness is not scandalized by diversity. The carousel at the airport spits out different colored bags. Or it spits out different colored boxes, but they go around the same circle. It's not scandalized by diversity. What it's scandalized by is that there's something else. It does not want you to know how radically incomplete it is. So it tells you this is the only frame of power. So you have to struggle for power within me. You have to fight for power within me, right? Even when you speak about anti-whiteness or anti-this, it encourages you because it means you're focused on the idea that this is the only way to frame power. So I know that whiteness is a practice. I know that it's not chosen. I know that it's post-human. And I want to be compassionate to whiteness and say, I allow you to be composted. I allow you to die well. I will not fight for a seat at your table because there are other rooms in the house.